Poodle, I've been feeling a feeling all day, and I think I finally realized what it was when it comes to this tell-all. Are you with
Gonorrhea?
Close. Very close. So in fact, what I'm feeling usually ends up in some type of gonorrhea. You know how, like, when a guy, you meet him at a bar, you start chatting a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar.
Well,
But yeah.
roll with me here. You're flirting a little bit. You're talking. Maybe he buys you a drink, and then
What is this? 1999?
Yeah. Hey, I like to be courted. Okay, not some.
Bitch,
Not
that don't
some,
happen anymore.
it's not, some people don't walk into a room that just says "hole ready" with a T-shirt on.
Hey, just keeping it real.
But you know how, though, maybe you don't because you never do this anymore and romance is dead for you. But I'm talking about when you meet a guy and you haven't seen a dick
And
pic.
you haven't fucked yet.
You haven't fucked yet. You're you meet
Already.
in public, you're making
not
out.
sure what you talk about, but that's fine. Yeah.
They're a good kisser. They kind of bite your lip a little, whatever. You're into it. They're grabbing your throat. And then they pull down their pants. And there's this massive, thick, almost angry looking dick staring at you. And you're like, I want to take all of that, but I don't know if I can. And I'm scared what's going to happen to me after I finish it. That's how I feel about this tell-all.
Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé. Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown. 90-day Beyonce. Marrying someone you only met on your phone. Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality, yes,
Let's love.
I don't know what's going to happen. I'm into it, but I'm also terrified how we're going to feel after 5 episodes of this.
I will say this. In the moment, I will think to myself, I'm fucking Odysseus. I can do anything. So what if I have to be away from my wife for 30 years? It's a dick.
It's a dick.
It's one long odyssey.
I
can
is.
do anything for 20 minutes.
Can you really? Anything.
With enough lube, anything is possible.
Yeah, but how do you feel afterwards?
Oh, you need a day of recovery. It's risk versus reward. No, to me, this feels like, you know what this feels like for me? Let's say you're going to a dinner at a really nice place. And unfortunately, like a famous thing with like a 30-course tasting menu. And the only problem is you've been told that the chef is Guy Fieri. And you're going to get 28 courses. And by the end, no, his food. Like jalapeno sliders, poppers, tits up.
Yes.
And it's all going to be kind of fiery and angry and overwrought. And it's true, there might be a nice vegetable dish in there somewhere. Maybe there's something without a lot of poblano gravy on it. But you're preparing yourself for a lot of rich food. And you're thinking, can I shit myself 3 times in the meal? And so you're thinking, you brought diapers already. So that's the way I'm thinking about it.
It's interesting that we both have feelings that pertain to your butt.
Yeah. This is the tell-all.
This is Happily Ever After, Season 8, Episode 20, Tell-all, No Limits.
No limits.
Which again...
Also is written above my bed frame.
Yes. That's in a nice script.
Yes, carved in though. Carved with a knife.
That's Poodle's word art, y'all. No limits.
No limits.
We are venturing into new territory with this tell-all. We're going to talk about that. Heads up, probably it's going to be only one episode because we normally do two, but there's going to be a lot of Big Ed this episode, and we don't talk specifically about him. So just letting you know. But
there's a lot of intro stuff too.
But friend, I got good news for you, friend. I got good news. You're going to get another free episode this week of Love After Lockup.
Love After Lockup, the premiere of Love After Lockup. I think this is still season 5, but it's like episode 31.
Yes, I guess technically you've already gotten it. It aired on over the weekend.
You already got it.
But you already got it. So if you're like, but wait, hey, I don't have my part 2. Well, go listen to that episode of Love After Lockup.
You don't want us to do a 2-parter of this
Not
tell-all.
a Big Ed. No.
Yeah.
No,
it's just not fun talking about him.
No, it's fun now. So there's that. Any other y'all, we've talked about Love is Blind UK is coming, not back. It's arriving.
Here.
It is arriving. Yes. Soon at the
like an uncircumcised baby.
What date? Wow. What date is it coming out again?
The 7th.
The 7th.
The day 4 episodes.
Oh, good. The day before the retrograde begins.
There's a retrograde beginning
for the entire month of August, the 8th through the 28th. And it's going to be in
I can't have anything.
It's in Leo, so it's going to be big. It's going to be a hot month. Channy says hot.
Awesome.
Month. Yeah,
I apologize for my voice again. I've still got the COVIDs.
Hey there. You're not fucking with anybody with that
I'm making my way through it.
Because I made you sound like a Victorian streetwalker who's got some type of plague.
Hello, sir. You want a little pot? You want to put it there? You want to put it in there?
Well, you just
got feel on my right tit.
You got sores on your nipple. Is that a nipple? No, it's an open wound.
It's another place you can fuck me.
I do think that you actually were, because I believe in past lives, and I believe that you were definitely a whore, not in one, but in several.
I was a sex worker in several lives. I'm
definitely
of varying degrees of success.
Yes, I think probably going back to like Chinese culture, like or like everywhere, anywhere, and everywhere you've hoed there.
And I've made my way into never becoming royalty really, but fucking royalty usually.
No, yeah,
yeah.
But did you always die poor, or do you think you made it like fancy?
I think I was in between because I think a lot of times I died violently.
Okay. All right. Well, that went somewhere.
Being like pushed out a window or defenestrated or something like that.
I'm sorry I asked.
I'm pretty sure I've died violently. Yeah.
Okay.
A couple times. Well, yeah.
All right, then. I don't know if we have any other announcements. That's it. 90 Day UK, it's finishing up. So it's the last episode this week, y'all. So that's it. But that's all right because we've got plenty of shit coming down. Plathville is back, and
it is.
And we're really enjoying it. So a lot of stuff. So if you like that Love After Lockup episode and you're not subscribed to RG Plus on the $8 tier, because that is the Lalu and Cringe tier, that's where Plathville and Lalu live. But that's where you would subscribe. And if you do subscribe, you will get this episode commercial free for your pleasure.
You can check out our By Curious episode if you're on RG Plus that we recorded.
Which went great. Yeah. We talked for hours and hours. We haven't recorded it yet.
No,
but we're going to mañana, hopefully.
It's probably going to be Forbidden Love because it's out there. It's already
as long as you're not hacking up a lung. Hopefully we'll record.
I hope I
don't have to get a sub.
I'm literally steaming my voice every time. You know what? I'm doing my best, and that's
I
need to provide complete disgusting entertainment for y'all.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Whatever makes you feel well.
I don't know if this makes me feel well at all to talk about these people.
Let's jump in. So overall thoughts, what because I'll be honest, but y'all know me. I love MILF Manor. So
does it feel like they're going into Jen Shah's house?
it does. It does look like it's a housewife's house.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I enjoyed watching it. I'm not gonna lie. And I don't know what's wrong with me, but I did.
I feel like they're gonna have to, with Angela not there. Maybe she's back the second night, but I think production's gonna have to instigate some things. I don't think they're gonna go for it. I don't think we have as many instigators. Ed was an instigator, but he's kind of baiting into the background now.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if they'll be. Ashley, I think, is going to have something to say. I think Lauren, in the clips we've seen, has decided to join that party.
Well, I actually was surprised in this first episode. I would say the two main instigator. I don't know if he was so much of an instigator, but he kept bringing up topics. One was Kobe. I was surprised how involved he was with everyone.
Yeah.
But also Patrick was being a little bit of an instigator.
Yeah.
I think he might push people's buttons as we go along.
Yeah. It kind of felt it felt like someone told him to do it, because that's just not him.
Well, see, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, I can see that. But I think what's going to happen to tell us, he's going to say something about Lauren and Alexi, and then it's going to cause girl fight.
Ugh, gross.
Which is what we saw. So, y'all, it's, I will say, y'all, they couldn't, it's TLC. They're not going to get them a house in New York. Of course they're in Jersey.
They're in Jersey.
Of course. Well, no, they say, oh, they have this big thing and it says Arrival Day, New Jersey. I agree with Patrick, and Patrick says we're probably the most normal. Mm-hmm. You know what I wish? You know the mistake they made? John should be living in this house. That's what they should have done.
Well, they can't, because they need the couples. They'll obviously bring out John. I'm kind of surprised they did not organize games like them playing Celebrity or something. I needed something to start more, to some icebreakers.
Hey, I'm ready for like a fucking Big Brother challenge. Like, make them do some just stupid shit.
I agree.
I'm all for it.
Basically, Gino and Jasmine get there, of course. Mm-hmm. And Jasmine says, I'm going to be respectful, but I don't take shit from anyone. And she already says, I don't feel comfortable living with Ed. And she said, I'm not concerned about getting along with Angela. I'm concerned about Angela getting along with any other human. And I think this is interesting. I believe that the only people who have had one-on-one contact in this group with Angela is Ed and Liz. Think about it.
And I'm trying to think of possibly maybe Lauren and Alexi from past seasons, but not.
I don't know if they ever crossed.
Weren't they both on the same second for first season? Hey, I don't remember. But but yeah, maybe they never crossed. But I think you're right, though. No one's really has because it's interesting later when we see, because before Angela's been hard on Ed, so now suddenly though it was like watching two Disney villains come to a meeting of the mind, so to speak.
Yeah, he kind of gets her in a way, and I think she knows that. And in Last Resort, they actually had each other's backs.
That's actually where they probably bonded the most. Yeah. Last Resort.
So that's going to be interesting to watch.
I'm so ready when that comes back.
So anyway, Jasmine says, if Gino buys me a house like this, all our marriage problems will be gone. So Jasmine's wearing her sash, and Thais says, you're remiss. I was a miss too.
Color me surprised.
And Jasmine's like, of course you were. You're gorgeous. And Patrick's like, yeah, this looks like a participation trophy if everyone would come. And he's like, that's not what it was, Patrick.
He's not wrong. It is.
And Jasmine's like, they picked the rooms first. They should have given it to us who have miserable lives as a miserable marriage and live in a miserable place.
And they're like, and Patrick, look, that's what I love about Gino and Jasmine is just so forthcoming about all of their problems. She really should be in my family because she has no boundaries. She talks about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect that. That's, but so she says it's in Patrick. It's like, well, are y'all, that's what he's asking. It's like, are you staying together? And Gino's like, yeah. No,
Gino, you did choose your own room. And Gino says, you're saying the only way we can sleep in the same bed is we have sex? She says, yes, that's the ultimate.
Yes, Gino.
I'm establishing my conditions.
Yes, Gino, I need you to put your semen inside me, Gino.
I'm going to say this. Yeah. That's appalling. That's an appalling thing to say.
What's more appalling, when she said that or Patrick says, I don't understand why he doesn't just bang her out?
Both of it. Both these things. And
I will say, maybe they think we want to see it. I personally kind of don't. But there's a lot of conversation about people's sex lives in this house.
And I think it is making it the butt of a joke, which is completely not. And it also diminishes it.
It diminishes it, and it makes all the guys be like, I don't just understand
why you're not a wife. Why don't you bang your wife's pussy?
Yeah, you want to pound that pussy. I mean, it's...
Can you imagine if they asked a woman, why don't you want to have sex with your husband? Like, yeah. It's like it's such a he-man hating, woman hater club, caveman understanding of emotional needs of sex.
You wouldn't have a woman say, girl, put that aside and just ride that dick out.
Yeah, or just like, you should go fuck your husband.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. I think this is a lot more layered than they're making it, and it's not just about porn. Gino feels it actually is a lot about porn, but it's because Gino can't have intimacy with a real person unless it has to be someone who he truly trusts. It's easy for him to jerk off to porn.
Yeah, trust, and I have some other opinions about which they get into it on their segment, and we're going to talk about them later. Their segment was interesting. Emily and Kobe shows up, then Ashley, Manuel. Emily is like ready to fucking pop with the third baby. I mean, she is like...
I liked it when Manuel said, I've got a baby too. And she pointed at Kobe and she's like, we have 3 babies.
And then Ashley immediately went, put one in me. She said in Spanish.
Give me a baby. That is the last thing y'all need.
Boy.
Can you imagine that bitch pregnant? Ugh.
I'm just going to say this. Anytime I've moaned to a man to put his babies in me, it doesn't end well. It does.
I don't think I've ever said, give me your babies. That is not a sexy thing to me. Yeah. I don't need to be a woman who wants to be pregnant during sex.
Well, I mean, but I thought babies give you youth and vitality.
It's different. It also no.
Do you think Danielle with Muhammad, when they had sex, ever say, "Give me some more of your kids"?
I think I pray to God that their sex was silent. Silent as a grave, because if I ever saw a record of anything either of them said, I would never be the same person again. Because then it would be real.
Then it would be real. That makes sense. I am manifesting her back. Manifesting.
She's a nurse now, so she's doing
good for her.
She's doing all kinds of stuff.
Good for her. Okay. So they are immediately Like Emily called this, and Jasmine sees Emily, and she goes, "Oh my god!" She's like, "Sit here, I'll rub your feet.
Let me rub your
pregnant."
feet.
But then she immediately becomes judge, and she's like, "Men don't do this because they have no idea what we've gone through." Sorry, I said that like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You did.
I don't know why I did.
Gone through.
Men don't know what we've gone through. But still, I love that. That is one thing. Don't get it twisted, y'all. Jasmine's always going to make it about how terrible her husband is.
She will, and she will do it at his expense and to become more popular. And Gino that will start to get on his nerves by the end of the trip. He's happy being the butt of the joke for a while, but not when the other men see it. So I think they're going to get some nasty fights.
I think they are too. I think they are.
So this is later on. They're talking about the men are talking about having more kids. Patrick talking about having more kids sooner or later. And they ask Gino, how's your sex life? He's like, well, I can't say married life is all roses. There's not much of sex. And tells them about not sleeping in the same beds. And I love when Manuel just comes up and goes, "Hi, guys."
He sits high, and then he sits down, and I feel for him because you can tell he has no idea what they're saying.
He's probably picking up a word or two in there.
But he hasn't been here long. No,
and he's doing much better. I wish he's so fucking stubborn that if I was Ashley, I would kind of have, first of all, I would mandate that he need to find someone who speaks Spanish in Rochester. He's not the only person. She's not the good teacher for him. But find someone he can speak half Spanish and half English with. That's how you do it. And maybe I think he's also afraid of being stupid. So he's afraid of, when he's learning English, he's afraid of failing.
He needs a guy who can talk and totally. watch football with him, soccer, and they like go in and out. Like that's how he needs to do it.
And then maybe give each other hand jobs.
I was gonna say, you said Manuel is really fucking stubborn, and I was gonna ask you, does that turn you on a little bit?
I'd bang him totally,
especially when he said he was a Scorpio.
Man, that means sex with him is nuts.
That means, y'all, that means when he said that, I kind of gave Ashley a little bit of grace because I thought about us. I thought about us and the dick pigs that we have in our fucking listeners, and I went, y'all would get banged out in the bathroom too. Don't knock it.
I'm telling you, y'all, I can see it now when he's like banging her down and the look in his eyes, and she's like, he is on another fucking planet right now.
Yes.
Yeah, trust
me. His eyes, flames light up in his actual pupils.
Anyway, Liz arrives. And they said, "You look so good." She's like, "I got rid of 230 pounds." Jasmine is not here for it. She says, "I think Ed is a bad person, ugly inside and out. It's been 6 months." Everyone's excited about meeting Michael in person because Michael is this kind of like Godot figure. When's Michael coming?
When's Michael coming?
Let's wait for him.
That's true. And Liz says she's happy right now. But then
Fred walks in and like a turd in the pool.
Yep. He walks in and it looks like it's like when you're in someone's house and their cat just takes a huge shit in their litter box and you just have to sit in there.
And everyone smells shit. Yeah. Has that ever happened? I'm sure that's happened to y'all if you've had company over and let's say your apartment's not that big. Your cat will choose that moment to shit in their litter box.
Oh, yeah.
And it is just everyone's suffocating. And maybe there's a way, maybe you have a formal relationship and you can't really say, "I'm so sorry, my cat just dropped a deuce in here."
Sorry, my cat is hotboxing us right now.
God.
Apologies. Literalmente hotbox.
If you live with a cat, You have been hotboxed.
They're going to do that because you brought somebody over. They're pissed. If they're not a social cat, they're like, fuck you. You're not going to pay attention to me. This is what you get.
So anyway, Ed's, they're like hugging. He kind of hugs her a little bit. And
why when he starts to cry, Jasmine bring this up later, and good for her. Liz, why the fuck are you wiping the tears away from his face? Boundaries, 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 Liz.
It's a shame because in a way, she is just as broken as he is.
Oh, worse, because he at least gets to be a man in the world.
True, and y'all,
she has to be a woman.
What Liz hides, the persona that Liz hides, is I can't even tell you. We saw it a little bit. You've seen it a little bit. But
I saw it personally when we were at that party.
I spoke to her a little bit.
I spoke to her a little bit. We didn't speak to Ed because he knows we've talked a lot of shit about him. So, but she saw me in the elevator and when we were going down, and just when I looked in her eyes, I just could see she just looked sad and scared.
Yeah, she was real drunk too.
She was, but I could see. But I'm friends with you. I'm used to real drunk. I was saying
she arrived drunk.
She arrived drunk. Yeah. I've been real drunk, but like she had that scared look in her eyes. It just
it's sad,
like a little kid. Yeah, because we'll talk about it. We're not going to talk about their segment, but kudos to Patty, the mom, for some of the one-liners she says. But she comes in like she's Mother of the Year. And I don't know a lot about her history, but I don't think she is.
But y'all, Ed meets everyone, and Jasmine says, "No, hi, I don't like hugging."
And Patrick immediately says, "You just hugged me."
And Jasmine's face is like, ding, 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 ding,
ding. She makes that look of "Be careful what you." Like she totally just stares at him. That's why I think Patrick's just smile with his shit-eating grin. That's why I think he's going to rile people up.
I hope so.
It's that little brother in him. I would be the same way. It'd be hard for me not to just drop in like little brother pokes.
Sounds like a porn movie I've seen.
Gross. I don't accept it.
So Liz, Ed's like trying to kind of like be charming. He's like, I don't miss San Diego at all. I've been sick for 8 days, allergies. And Liz says, you know what I love? You coming here and just being the center of attention. Blah, blah, blah.
Nothing about how I look. I look great because she has lost a lot of weight. So she wants him, which is gross though, because I go, oh, then you still want his validation and you want him to notice you.
Of course.
Y'all, because the best part when you're, at least for the most part, over your ex is you don't give a shit.
Yep.
Where the wind blows them or what they fucking think. And she's not there.
The best revenge is apathy.
Yeah. It's just.
It really is.
Yeah.
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 Because that'll drive them crazy. Especially if you've got an ex like Ed.
Yes, it will drive him crazy. Yeah. As we see whenever her boyfriend showed up and his face turned green.
So anyway, he's crying. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. She's like, don't do that. And Jazz was like, are those crocodile tears? She always gets the word crocodile wrong. And I love it. She just
crocodile. And Patrick goes,
tries
what's
a couple of times.
Yeah, she does.
And Ed's like, I want to support you, Liz. That same thing. And she's like, that's what you said at the last tell-all and at the last resort. That is the best thing about Liz is she kind of goes right through it and almost calls out the fakeness of how Ed wants to talk about how fake all of this is and how in the moment he is. And she's almost calling out, this is a production. This is a show.
Well, she does this now. She used to not do that. But I think now she's learned. And that's actually she says in their we're not going to go in their full segment, but when she says in their segment, you always talk about a relationship takes 2 to get in and 2 to get out, but you always are just talking about me and you're never talking about your own issues. And it's true. And then the whole cast then called him on it and Ed still didn't see it.
I'm very glad we don't cover him anyway, because he actually just frustrates me to no end, because he's one of these people. He's just unrepentantly going to stay the same.
Yeah, I actually kind of wish we would, only because I feel like there's more people like this in the world than we think, and people get in relationships, and normal, rational people. Like Liz has her issues. I mean, I'm glad we don't, because he is growth, but Liz has her issues, but I think sometimes she tries to apply a healthy rationale of how people behave. And like you just said, you can't use those type of parameters with someone like Ed.
No.
Yeah, it's always going to fail her.
Ed is a narcissist of the nth degree.
Like, makes Rob look like a peacemaker.
And the worst part about it is he also has he even has a stronger martyr complex than Rob does. Rob has learned to wear a mask a little bit better. Ed's mask is his martyrdom.
Well, yes, yeah, and I think
his victimhood.
His victimhood, because he feels like he's like, and we don't really do this a lot, but I'm just bringing it up not to dig him about his appearance, but I think because he has like no neck or whatever, he's like, poor me. He acts like he's like the fucking hunchback of Notre Dame who was like put in a castle far away, and that now he's finally living his life and deserves all this. And I was like, no, that is not earned at all.
No.
Fuck off.
Anyway, Rob and Sophie show up.
Thank God the blonde hair is gone.
I'm kind of like, she looks so much better. And I kind of just went, I'm shocked that they're arriving together. But then I went, no, I'm not.
No, you're not. Not when you think about it. Because, again, she went back outside to grab the squishy, y'all.
And so she's like, Rob, you go in first. I'm nervous. I have anxiety. And so Rob goes in first. And they're like, oh, where's Sophie? She's like, oh, she needs a moment. And so we do find out they broke up, but then they are been recently, quote, hanging out again. No label, just hanging out. Which, y'all, this is much more painful than the way they were.
Yeah.
Strangely. Ugh. But y'all, everything's fine. Let's just bring out those drinks. And Sophie says, make mine strong.
Make mine strong. And
so
by the way, did you see? Sorry, I was singing Barbara, so I thought about Barbara and her book. Did you see? Cher's coming out with a memoir, and it's in 2 parts.
I thought about that, and I was just like, "You're not going to have anything to read after your Barbara. You finish your Barbara book."
I'm already done with the Barbara book, actually. But Cher, I'm ready. And Celine is singing at the Paris Olympics. The world's getting gay again.
Good time to be gay.
It is. Anyway,
so then they brought their I think it's Kobe said to Sophie.
We forgot to say Lauren and Lexi showed up as well as Rob.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing happened.
I barely said anything. Kobe basically is, so what's going on? Like, Sophie, is Rob cheating on you? And when I was like, Jesus, Kobe.
That's what I'm saying. Kobe kind of really has been the instigator, because he asked if they're having sex. And Rob is like, Rob says this, and I actually agree with it. He says, no, he said, things aren't where I would like to be. And he said, you know, what happened is, because she started saying, well, you reject me. And Rob said, no, I rejected you once. And then as a payback, you rejected me for months.
Facts.
I believe that, y'all. Because she's had so much issues with that and abandonment, I think she did do that to punish him.
I cannot believe that somehow the show has made Rob, slightly tolerable. And not in a way, I still think he's a horrible narcissist. But what I understand him now. I understand what living with her is like.
So,
yep.
Now that you have a little bit, let's just use the word, maybe empathy for him that we haven't had before. If you were, I don't know, 2 vodka sodas in, would you suck his dick?
No, because I don't want to fuck a martyr. Nothing is less sexy than a martyr.
What if he had a ball gag in his mouth and was silent?
Could I watch someone else fuck him so I don't have to be there? That's a completely different thing.
That's a completely different thing. Okay, that's fair. Okay, just making sure we haven't gone over that.
I don't fuck martyrs, but I'm okay with watching someone else who doesn't know them fuck them.
It's because I don't want to suck his dick either, even though he is a beautiful crier, and y'all know what that does to me.
So everyone wants to hear, and we find out from production, Angela and Michael are not coming tonight. And Emily's like, fine, I'm going to go to bed.
She's like, I'm done.
Now, strangely, I think she's exactly right. Angela does not want Michael telling anyone bad shit about her or Michael's side of the story. I completely agree with that.
I think Emily is going to be, I don't think she has a potential to be probably the voice of reason in this tell-all, because her and Kobe don't really have problems, except for they keep having children in their parents' home.
Yeah, except for they have no fucking reproductive plan.
No, not at all. Anyway, so they all go to bed. The next day, we're in New York City. Everyone's showing up for the tell-all. Apparently, Gino says, Jasmine and I
got in an argument this morning.
And Gino and Jasmine said, he wanted to change, but I was still changing it. I can't be naked in front of him. I'm not comfortable.
Whew. God.
That feels extreme.
Patrick goes, I don't want to compare us to the couples here, but we're just better.
That was so honest, but also so fucking douchey.
Funny.
It was funny though. It made me laugh.
And y'all, Michael is there. And I'm like, this is insane. Michael is just there. And walks in.
He walks in, and this is a good thing that's going to have hope. I'm sure Angela won't listen to him at all. And I think it's actually I think the person that Angela is most scared of is Kobe and Emily, because Kobe already says, being an African man as well, that would be crazy to go back and forth with someone who is that domineering. He's like,
possibly,
I couldn't do it. And I think that they're very different, because Kobe did not accept the BJ. Mm-hmm. For some of you that remember, but still, I feel like that's who Angela really doesn't want to hear from.
I agree. So, turns out they did not go to the house last night, Angela, because, as she says, because Ed goes to talk to Angela. And she says, it was a misunderstanding. We had a big fight, knockdown, drag out, and I'm not letting him misrepresent who he is and be the nice guy.
He's going to go in there and tell all those people I'm some bitch, and he's going to look like the nice guy, and I'm just going to be sitting over there looking like an old smoke-ridden toad.
But you know what? You could see genuine fear, because then at one point she says, you got people thinking I'm a bitch, and I'm a good-hearted motherfucker. The thing about it is,
good-hearted motherfucker.
In her ethical sense, she is good-hearted because of what she's done for him and what she's financially done. So that's what she's giving herself the pat on the back for. However,
she's giving him America, which to her is the best gift you can give someone.
And he should be constantly thanking her for that. And this idea of, we find out later on, where is it?
Oh, well, just after the Ed and Angela conversation, she already walks out once. Even before the tell even begins, because she goes and sits by him, and she's like, "Don't sit by me," and I'm like, "Bitch, you sat by him."
Exactly.
So she is so domineering and abusive, verbally abusive to him.
Yeah,
and
she said, "I told you, why aren't you sitting here? I told you that on my fucking sight."
Bitch, he was there for. Guess what? And I think that's even a deeper meaning. It's like what Emily said. Not only does she not want Michael to get close to other people, but Angela's always the star in America.
Yeah,
Events she goes to, all these things she does, she doesn't want to share the spotlight with him. And she even said, I laughed a lot when she's like, I'm going home. She's like, I'm not going to be like some Chantel or Pedro or Mohammed. She walks off.
She's like, I hate tell-alls and I hate this place. So, did you hear her when, what was it? Where's it? Jasmine says, that poor man, he's always interrupted. And I went, Jasmine. You realize you bite the exact same way.
Jasmine. It's not as bad, but it's not great. They're definitely in the same kind of category.
So Ed does defend Angela and says he is using her and she's on the hook for everything. So, and Angela says they can't see he's lying, but one day they'll go back and they'll say, oh, she was right. So we are on set now. Sean is there.
Sean's shocked. She's like, Michael, you're real. She looks great. Okay, now that we're about to start the show. I love her. I love her so much. But Jasmine, this was a fail.
Oh, I think it's awful.
She actually looks like almost looks like the exact dress that Ariel wears whenever she's transformed into a human on her wedding day in The Little Mermaid.
It looks like a costume.
It's not good.
It doesn't really, the color doesn't do anything for her.
No.
It doesn't really belong on the tell-all set.
No. It does. That's it right there. The set actually, again, the set looks great. They're getting better with this. Yeah. It doesn't look like she belongs. Gino looks like he is he works in event catering, and tonight they're going to be doing a casino night at someone wealthy's home, and he's going to be dealing fake cards.
I said it did look like Dress Is Your Favorite Mobster Night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. He looks like a casino night Gino.
Thais looked great. She normally does.
She looked great. Patrick looked like he was going to play golf.
Always.
Like they never. I bet she tries to match him to her, and he gets stubborn. He's like, no, I'm wearing. Yeah. And it literally looks like he's at a Father's Day brunch in North Carolina, or some shit like that.
Ashley,
I liked her. I thought she looked great.
It's a better look than she's done before.
I love the one shoulder and the maroon.
I wish it just gave her some more shape. I don't know. It looks just very flat.
I will say that it's probably, we've talked about this before on the tell-all, what's important. Y'all, it's not a standing up dress. It's got to be a good sitting down dress.
Yeah.
And I bet,
it looks very flat.
If it's, yeah. I like that Lauren's showing her midriff now that she's proud of it. I thought she looked great. I thought Alexi looked great.
They look great.
Manuel's got a little ponytail.
Emily, I know you're pregnant, honey. Choose a different color to wear.
I think the yellow doesn't add any color to her face.
Also, it makes her, if possible, look even bigger.
Her hair looked pretty.
Can you imagine that dress, or it's kind of a top in like a dark green?
Oh, that'd be
completely different kind of thing. But that yellow was one of the worst colors for her to wear.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was really surprised at Nicole and Mahmoud's outfit. Oh, wait.
They weren't there.
They're not there, y'all, and they're not going to be.
This is the one thing. Besides the ridiculous tiara, I actually thought Angela's purple suit is one of the most conservative choices I've ever seen her make. Think about it.
I'm going to say this. The fit of it was one of the best fits she had.
That's a great, better way to say it.
The color
was
and the
awful.
Texture of the material
It
is
looked cheap.
garish. It looked garish.
But think about what she normally wears.
No, it fit her better. Yes, but the tiara, her hair was a little too Shirley Temple for me.
Yes.
I didn't enjoy that. Wasn't. I don't remember what Michael wore. I don't remember.
It's that kind of like brown and orange thing that he usually wears. Kind of African print.
Yeah. Liz looked fine.
Yeah. Ed's wearing the same kind of turtleneck look. Someone needs to get Ed off turtlenecks.
I mean, you've got to have a neck to wear a turtleneck. I'm not trying to be mean.
No,
I'm just saying, though, it's
maybe it gives him kind of an illusion of it.
Maybe he thinks it does, but I feel like I think
they're hard to pull off, especially with suit jackets. I don't know.
I think they look better. Like, I look good in turtlenecks with jackets. And I think it's because if you're taller. I think if you're taller, it looks better. If you're short, I think it just kind of squashes you.
You look dumpy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, y'all don't pull over. That's me. Don't pull over if you hear it.
We have heard, she says, Nicole and Miss Mood won't be participating in today. No. No explanation why. Just we wish them the best.
I got to say, that's a fail.
That's a fail
product, and it's actually I'm not like angry about it, but I will say that is underestimating, mistreating, and not valuing your audience and their intelligence. Full stop. And because we've spent a lot of time invested in this couple, and we get it. There's a domestic violence, and they probably can't say a lot.
I think this was before that.
It was cold. There was snow on the ground. So in Jersey. So this probably was before March.
I think Mahmoud refused to do it.
And I think you're probably right. And I wish
someone come at us about timelines.
But if he refused, why wouldn't Nicole come on?
I think they only wanted him. They only wanted the both of them.
I feel like they would have had her though, and so they could at least weigh in for a segment. But I don't know either. I just wish they would have said something of even if they said Mahmoud did not want to take part and Nicole said they did not want to quote, or at least a statement from him or something.
Yeah.
It's
cowardly.
I feel like we need that. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's like it goes into that thing. That's one thing that sometimes that Housewives is better at, that 90 Day Fiancé is not, is Housewives acknowledges that it's a show.
Yeah.
But then acknowledges the real life situations that happen that affect the show. Whereas TLC really wants us to act like everything, what you see in this docuseries is all their life and that's it.
It is.
And I think that's sometimes to their disservice.
And it's a huge, huge, almost like an ethical albatross to hang around your neck. And then it's absolute. And if you fudge it at all, everything falls away. And it's like when we call something for audacity, where you go, so if I don't believe this, how much don't I believe?
Yeah, because if someone cheats on someone that's not on the show, they talk about it and have that person on the fucking show that we've never seen before.
Yeah, it's obnoxious. So we do a little bit of pre-stuff where it is kind of like, let's talk about everyone's sex lives. Is everybody sleeping with their husband?
Who's getting the dick?
And Gino and Jasmine say, nope, we didn't. Rob and Sophie say, nope, we didn't. And Angela's like, I don't feel alone anymore. I guess we all need to get our vibrators going.
And I love that Sean says, wow, Angela, this early. That was great. That was great when Sean said that.
So we basically just do a little bit of things. Emily and Kobe are due next month, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Patrick Nee's good. Let's go. So we're going to skip over most of the Liz and Ed segments of all the video. I will say, if you have not watched the clip of Ed and Liz and Liz's mom packing up, it's worth watching.
It's worth watching.
It's kind of insane.
It's great. But let's talk about Gino and Jasmine.
I was just gonna literally just book report this.
Sure, go ahead.
And say they do bring out Liz's new flame.
Oh, that did.
Who looks like a nice guy.
Jason.
And they basically say,
who's her age?
Yes. And Sean basically gets it out of him that his penis is better than Ed's, and she doesn't have to fake it.
Because Ed has
and Ed is sitting over like this. They bring out the mom. She says "Purgatory Hell" again, which is probably something she should sell on Etsy.
That she needs to make those shirts.
Yeah. I think let's move on to Gino and Jasmine.
Let's talk about Gino and Jasmine. So Jasmine starts out, she's like, I love him, but our marriage is very bad. And she's like, I don't feel love. It's all about what he wants. And Gino immediately is like, I don't control her life. And Jasmine, I believe her when she says, I feel like I'm nobody in this country.
I believe her feelings, but can I say this? I feel like the actual truth is somewhere in the middle about between what these two people say.
I would have said that originally, but having Dana and Michelle come on and completely throw Gino under the bus and validate everything Jasmine was saying made me think I still agree with you. Not that it's 100% Jasmine, but maybe it's more like 70-30.
I agree with you. I just think Jasmine will, when she's emotional, she will exaggerate and say things.
Yes.
Say things that, and Gino won't ever do that though. But that's where I'm saying that the line is, because Gino, the way Gino's brain works, he'll that's why when she says things, no, Jasmine, that's not true. That's all correct. She's elaborating or kind of making shit up. And he has to say that's one of the reasons why. That's why I keep saying he doesn't trust her, because he'll do that in front of people. She'll do that in front of people, and
it almost makes me feel like with the porn thing they brought up, and there's rumors of how Gino and Jasmine met originally, that they met through like a
like
site.
She was a cam girl or a
we don't know. We don't know all that, but we know that Gino has a history with that. And what I get, this is probably even sicker than what you would say, so I don't know what's happening. It's almost as if the sex robot he thought he was getting has come to life and has feelings and emotions and requires things of him, and he never accounted for that.
It's not that he didn't account for it. It just wasn't part of the plan. It wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't, because the person he has sex with is not emotional.
Yes.
And if he's going to have sex emotionally,
and with Jasmine, it's all emotion.
Yes, which I don't think he really knows how to do.
It's how to deal with. Yeah.
And so he has to almost distance himself from it. That's why he says he can't have sex with it be naked. So that's another way of distancing.
Yeah, that's a thing, y'all. He hasn't ever, she says, never seen him naked. Yeah. Never. There's this I feel like this segment did not make Gino look great.
No,
but it also gave, but you know, and so Sean starts asking, she's like, have you we talk about the driver's license. Jasmine did finally get her driver's license because she said she didn't like being beholden to him. And Sean says, but have you filed for the adjustment of status? And he said, I did file it. So we're waiting for now her work authorization, then her green card. And he said, but then Gino immediately follows up with, but I didn't get any credit for it. And she hasn't even said thank you. And Jasmine responds as, why do I have to be grateful to you all the time? And Ashley makes I think a good point where Ashley says, you can't hold this over their head. As Americans, we agreed to take this on. It's a lot of fucking work, but you should do that immediately because that's what you agreed to do when you took this on. Yeah. And I think she's right. I think I would kind of look at that too of, look, if someone agreed to leave their country and come over here, even if we break up, I'm going to give them that. I'm going to give this, that's part of it. It's a tit for tat a little.
I think one thing for Gino is that's the way he feels any type of validation is helping someone and the fact that they're going to have gratitude. And Jasmine sees giving someone gratitude as giving them power over her.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
And so I think she would say thank you, but not in the way he needs it. And I'm not saying that's
she
right.
She said that she has said thank you, but he just wants more effusive praise in her words. I don't know if that's true, but that's what she's saying.
Right. But she's going to see that as a way of control.
And even Lauren jumps in and says,
do it.
yeah, Lauren says this should have been done ASAP. And it's nice to hear their input because all of them know how much work this took. Because Lauren didn't hire an attorney. She did it like Gino. She did it all herself.
And she stressed herself the fuck out, too.
She stressed herself the fuck out.
So then Michelle and Dana come on. We met them. They were so lovely.
I love Michelle's new hair color. It's cute on her. She looks cute.
It kind of felt like everything, they were basically saying, Jasmine's a good communicator, and Gino's like, that's not true. So you're right. They're throwing him under the bus.
Yeah. What did you think when Dana said to Gino, when she said, Gino, do you think that you have a point of view and it's the only point of view? Gino kind of couldn't respond to it.
Yeah.
And Michelle says he doesn't offer much to do for her.
Mm-hmm.
And
which
Gino's
I think is accurate.
Yes, Gino's trying to fight with him, and he's like, "That's not true." And Sean Robinson turns and said, "Bitch, these are your cousins."
You know why? It's all tit for tat with Gino. It takes reciprocity to make him want to do anything for her.
Well, I think you nailed it when you said it's almost like Gino is. It's like. He is all id, Jasmine's all ego, or like she's all emotion and he's not at all. Yeah. He's completely compartmentalized, or even like, I don't know, like the way he functions, whatever his neuro is, it could be different. But I think there is this, Jasmine is probably communicating well, but that's the way Jasmine maybe needs to be communicated with. It's like, How do you communicate to Gino? I'm not trying to give him a pass and saying that he's really trying. I think he's being a dick to her a lot of the time.
Right. Yeah, me too. I think what I'm trying to figure out and read between the lines is a lot of what she does say. I think wherever he's either, if you want to say neurodivergence, I think there's a big obstacle when he hears her exaggerate and say things that aren't true. It feels like a betrayal. Yeah, even though a normal person, I shouldn't say a normal person, someone with certain processing would know, oh, this person's exaggerating. Gino would see that as a betrayal.
No, I think he sees that as a betrayal. And, this, even when Michelle said, but Gino, you told me it's too much to drive her to the gym. And I went, whoa, so she wasn't being dramatic about the whole throwing the smoothie.
No.
Y'all, all that was real because this guy doesn't have a job and he can't fucking take his wife to the gym for 2 hours, drop her off, and then just go get her. What the fuck is he doing? Because remember, y'all, he's not working. He's not doing it. I know that he says the paperwork takes a long time. Sissies, come at me. Is it something where you have to quit your job and do it for 8 hours a day for 2 months?
He has gotten what he wants. What he has wanted to do is live his life like he used to live it, and then Jasmine will just be there
and fit into his life exactly how. That's what I meant by the robot now has emotions and feelings, because I don't think that he doesn't have. That was probably harsh for me to put it that way, because I do think he loves Jasmine and cares about it, but like you just said, he doesn't think of her in that way in his life.
No. Let's talk about Porngate, where and because Sophie says, yeah, I'm like that too. If I'm not mentally there, I can't have sex. And I'm like,
you're never mentally there, bitch.
There's a lot of other problems why you're not mentally present during sex.
Sophie, you are not mentally present. Period. Full stop.
You're especially not emotionally present anytime because you can't be.
No,
it's too scary.
I'm sure when she has sex, probably she goes back and thinks about her favorite carnival ride with her favorite clown, and it's just she has to go somewhere else.
And the story doesn't end well with her favorite clown either.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. That's awful. Exactly. So this idea, maybe I did not get what they were saying here. And so she's, how often do you catch Gino watching porn? Now, I'm going to say this is a very common thing. People, they're acting like this is a very uncommon thing for you to know your partner watches porn. It's a very pearl clutching moment.
Maybe this is a heterosexual thing. But I feel like I have a lot of straight friends that know that their spouse watches porn.
Yes. I feel like this is maybe we're outliers in this. I don't know.
Big hoey hoes, big trap doors of semen.
Come out as straight people or couples, and do you know that your partner watches porn? But she takes it as an insult, obviously. But she says, I have to take precautions before I go back in the house. And I'm thinking, what is it, a buck machine? And then the reason video.
Well, I was going to say the reason. I just want to add something that I give a little. I think when she takes offense at it, if my boyfriend was watching porn and masturbating and didn't have sex
with you
and didn't have sex with me for 8 months, I would feel. I would feel a lot like Jasmine's feeling, kind of tossed aside, unloved.
That makes sense.
This is because remember, y'all, that's Jasmine's biggest trigger is abandonment and being unloved.
Right. And so it was the videos, but the giveaway here was it was sugar baby videos.
I guess she was talking about like the sites that he was on before he met her. And one of the women that I guess he had a sugar baby relationship with, he was watching her porn. And I got to say, that would piss me off if you had a quasi, like, even if it was an online relationship with her.
Yeah.
Me no likey.
I guess I was trying to think of, I guess that makes sense more.
Because
that makes it not porn. That makes it, we're watching her videos, but was he actually talking to her?
Yeah.
But I don't think we know that.
I feel like she was saying that he was.
Oh.
That was but it wasn't clear, but it felt that way. Yeah.
Because if he's watching her videos, that would feel like someone who he used to pay money to see.
Yes.
And now he's watching her again. That would be a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
Part 1 of the 5-part tell-all, No Limits.
No limits. I even emailed like an hour into this, I emailed our rep at TLC and I said, Matt Sharp is giving us crack. What the fuck? I enjoyed it, y'all. Yeah. I hate to say it. I'm excited for the house stuff that we're going to see. I think it's because the thing about the house thing, how do they leave? How do they run away? How do they walk off set?
Oh, you can't.
You can't. So we're going to see. All right, everybody. That's the show. Thank you for listening. You can follow us on our social media at Reality Gaze Pod. That's on Instagram and TikTok.
Yes.
And we're
back on the TT.
We're on. We are. Even I'm on there now. So I got that second phone.
You got a second phone?
I got a second phone, and I'm on there. Took Caitlin and I 2 hours to set it up, but it works now. God bless Caitlin and Christine, and we love our team. So anyway, y'all, follow us on those channels. Again, if you wanted to hear this episode commercial free for what, Poods?
Your pleasure.
For your pleasure, go subscribe to RG Plus at the $8 tier. The $5 tier will give you Love is Blind and The Bi-Curious, but the $8 tier will give you Love After Lockup, Plathville, and ad-free content. Go to patreon.com/realitygaze or go to realitygaze.supercast.com to join those. Or if you're on Apple subscriptions, just press that little fucking button and we'll never know who the hell you are.
Ear and you'll have the idea. You're like cucking us.
Bitch, you don't know me. You don't know my life.
You're like ear fucking us, and I don't know who you are.
Don't know who you are.
That's your kink, I bet.
All right, you really got to message somebody with COVID to bang you. This is getting out of control.
It's really bad.
All right, everybody. On that note, again, leave a review.
It ruined Fuckfest 24.
Oh God,
ruined it all.
Oh boy, Sean Cody, some of their best times. All right, everybody.
Winter getaway.
You can what was I going to say? Pause it, Christine. What was I going to say? There was some And you can leave a review for us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen. Until then, y'all, we call these people lonely hearts because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love in houses in Jersey, Poodle?
Yes. And if you have a miserable life, have a miserable marriage, and live in a miserable place, call a therapist. And then you can call us.